Sheldon's wife. Where is Sheldon?
I'm right here. Is there someplace else I'm supposed to be?
Do you have a code word to make sure that's who she says it is?
I know, in fact, that it's not.
Okay, fair enough.
He's more creative than that for the name, probably.
Whereas my mother was in the chat.
But
It's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
You could have met my mother.
I could have.
My mom once got on
I assume that at some point you're going to take me home to meet your family.
Yes.
My mom definitely posted in a forum once for something, and I was mortified. I was just like, A, how did you find that? And B, how did you figure out how to sign up for a forum? And C, don't ever do that again.
Never do that again. So AJ's topping early.
He's going to have to keep up with his opponent here.
So is this similar? Is this is Justin's deck main deck Reanimator Dredge, or is it similar to Tommy Kolowith's version of Dredge that's sideboarded into Reanimator?
Let's find out.
He actually made it appear to me that it was main deck, but I think we could wait for Sheldon with the deck list. We'll know for sure. Looks like we got a daze coming for that. The first spell that his opponent played.
Hapless Researcher.
Hapless Researcher. It is a 1/1 where you can sacrifice it and then draw a card, then discard a card.
Oh, maybe not. It
Hapless
resolved.
Researcher resolves.
It resolved.
I wonder what they're saying. Wonder what they're saying.
Nothing at all, just thinking, hanging out.
If you're ever wondering at home why Rashad says something like, I wonder what they're saying, that's code for Ray, you need to put the headphones on.
There it is. There's one Reanimate main deck. There's a Zoom sideboard.
What do you guys think about that?
3
play?
Dread returns.
If Tommy Kolowith is behind it, I'm at least going to listen to the thought behind it, because Tommy K knows his stuff. He's a well-dressed and very competent player.
He also had Force Will in his main deck Dredge list, though. So I don't see any Force Will in this list. So it's definitely not a card-for-card TK list.
Yep.
But I think the concept post-board is kind of similar.
I feel like Tommy K is sort of in the Kyle Bogamus shoes. Like, he's just waiting for his day to shine. Just keeps grinding out, and then one afternoon he makes the finals of a Pro Tour.
Well, I mean, I guess there would have to be a Legacy Pro Tour because he's kind of exclusive.
That's not. I've played against him in a limited PTQ Top 8 in Chicago. I had to get through him in order to get to Matt Cheeks Hansen, I think is who I lost to in the finals. That was the event, because I knew Tommy as an older player before that, older format specialist, and then he top 8'd a limited event, and I just thought, this is just not fair. This guy can just flex the top 8 muscle and top 8 whenever he wants.
All right, so Justin just plays a Peach Ramp.
Ah, he's gonna go the beatdown route.
It's one way to look at it.
Something like that.
I really think that's a path that the best Dredge players know. Sometimes you just beat people down with 2/2 Putrid Imps. Players are so prepared to defeat your graveyard strategy that they just never think of the fact that they could just lose to a couple creatures.
AJ sacking this Misty Rainforest, searching up a Tundra.
Didn't like the top cards on his deck, I guess.
There could be a Source of Plowshare in the future, the near future.
That's true. Get rid of that Putrid Imp. Well, it's going to be a good match, guys. I'm going to go finish up a deck tech with Charlie Gindy, our standard open winner yesterday.
Hey, do you happen to have a thumb drive?
Why on earth would you need a thumb drive, Rashad?
Well, I'll let you
Oh,
know.
darn it, Rashad. You guys make my life so much harder.
I think we may need Ingreds. I don't think that's big enough.
Oh, I'll get Ingreds.
It's not the first time Bill's heard that.
I need a thumb drive, or we may need Ingreds.
I think he was referring to
that's
it's
not
quite big enough. But when I hear it, it's from women. Sheldon.
Still hearing it.
So Justin goes up to 20 from the Source of Plowshare, removing or exiling the Putrid.
Exiling. Get your nomenclature correct there, sir.
I said it.
AJ has Counterbalance in hand, Crucible of Word, Enlightened Tutor, Flooded Strand, and a moat. It look like Justin doesn't have any special reanimate targets in his board. It looks like here.
Well, I think this Iona's in the board.
I mean, in his main deck.
The main deck.
There's an Iona, Traston, Inkwell,
In the board, yeah, he has a sorted.
Sphinx of the Steel Wind.
Yeah, main deck. Reanimate on a Sphinx or a Flamekin Zealot. It's all fine. Even a Grave Troll. Grave Troll can be pretty big.
Grave Troll can be pretty big, pretty fast.
It's just 1 mana more than Dread Return, right?
Right.
He searches up Tormod script.
It's gonna keep Justin on Plan B by removing this Plan A, along with this graveyard.
Maybe it's the thumb drives that are freezing up your computer.
I left it over here this morning, just turned it on, walked away, came back. It was frozen.
And AJ follows it up with a counterbalance. We know that there's a top on top of his deck. Golgari Trolls dredging away. See what this dredge brings up. An Icarid, Bridge from Below, Brainstorm, Polluted Delta, Golgari Troll, and a Reanimate. And Hapless Researcher takes another bite out of AJ's life total.
It's kind of a nibble.
A snack.
Yeah, it's 15 to 20. Good old Hapless Researcher. That guy's going to town.
Justin lays out a Polluted Delta. He does have Golgari Troll, Brainstorm, and one more card. Necromoeba.
Plan B is still in effect. Are we going to see a blind counterbalance trigger, or do we already know what's on top?
We know it's on top. He spun the top to get the crit.
Crucible Worlds. I told him to put that in his deck.
Did you?
I did.
Ooh.
Aren't you techie?
Well, I just like Crucible Worlds.
What was Crucible Worlds before? What was the switch?
Well, it was when AJ was thinking about this deck, he sent me the list on AIM, and then I gave my insight and some comments, including Crucible World. So it was in the original list. Then I guess he brought it here to Florida and was convinced by some locals that it should be cut and replaced by a Sylvan Library, which I went, you're probably going to like it whenever you play Crucible World, just because you like the card, and you should probably just play cards you like in some situations. Because he was on the fence on which one it should be, and I think that pushed him over.
2 Necromoebas coming.
I'm not quite sure how I feel about the graveyard in the red zone.
Well, you should see some of these dredge players' battlefields.
They make the graveyard set up like the super hand.
Yeah, the battlefield is the graveyard. Over in the corner is the in play, and there's like a little pile that's exiled, and it almost makes sense. It's actually a benefit to both players because what's going on in that graveyard is what really matters.
Right.
So AJ decides not to crack his Tormod script to get rid of the Necromoebas coming into play. AJ drops down to 12.
Trying to get a better look at Justin's hand.
Yeah.
Looks like he has.
I'm actually the camera's kind of in the.
Oh, I can
No.
I can switch seats with you.
And teach you how to use a computer.
I can see just fine. All right, I'm going to take this deck list back.
All right, sounds good. AJ lays down Moat.
There's a moat. Moat says creatures without flying cannot attack.
Narcomoeba's going nowhere.
Well,
I mean, Narcomoeba's still going somewhere, but Hapless Creature's going nowhere.
Right, and it also turned off the actual. That's also like an additional Tormod's crit, basically, because Flamekin Zealots and the zombies that it makes won't be able to attack.
Brainstorm?